So going back again to some of the other tools now, we're not going to use the Aircrack NG right now. We will be releasing some more of these tutorials, so do definitely check back at our website as well as YouTube. I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of Kismet, which effectively again was developed for Linux systems, and Kismet is otherwise known as your NetStumbler equivalent. So as you actually launch it, it's just going to give you a quick overview and telling you that you can look at the actual syntaxes to use and the screen menu options by pressing H for help. And at this point I'll just exit out of that, and I'm going to be sorting the list of access points that we found by pressing the S, and you can sort it by SSID as an example, so that I can go along and select the target access point that I'm going to be demonstrating today, how easy it is to crack the web key. So if I press enter, you can see it's going to give me quite a lot of details. Now if you're doing this on a Linux system, there's an easy way and there's a hard way. And basically, for us to educate people on the exact technical specifics of what takes place, we tend to show them how to do it the hard way at first, and then show them how to kind of cheat with the easier to use tools. So we can see the SSID if it's been broadcast. We can see the server. That's the actual server that Kismet is running, so we can actually propagate this interface. The carrier, your max rate, and if we go further down, we'll see that it's got privacy enabled. It's on channel 11. It's using web encryption. And if I press H again, I can actually press the C, and C will give us the ability to display clients. In my case, it's not taking place, but let's try that out again. Let's actually just press C. Yeah, so I actually had the help interface up. So the idea is, if you want to quit out of that, just press Q. It'll take you back a screen. So H will always give you more information on your panel details. Q to quit, and then H and Q to look at the connected clients. Press C. And as you can see now, I actually do have a client that is connected to that access point. Just take note though, when you actually look at the client list, we can actually see the MAC address, our BSSID of our access point, in our case the WL530, and the MAC address ends in the 47FC. So if I press C again, you can see that it always has itself the access point listed in the client list as well. Well, for the most part, unless you're using some other types of more advanced security wireless hardware. And we can now see we have this client that is also connected to that target access point. So at this point I would quit out of that. It also supports GPS, so you can actually do your GPS war drive. And we're going to be looking at some of the other tools now that we can use to crack the web key. So there's quite a few array of these tools that you can use, folks. There's no one that's better than the other. But the last tool that I'm going to be showing you is a tool called Cain and Abel. Now I tend to use a lot of Linux systems when I go out and doing assessments. Not because I'm just a lover of penguins, but more specifically I find that I have a lot more flexibility and control over a Linux system. This is though one of my favorite Windows tools, and can be used greatly if you are performing an internal penetration test. So there's a lot of different tabs here. For this session I'm going to just be releasing the demo using the wireless tab, as I believe that's going to be the most powerful. So first of all, once I've actually launched Cain and Abel, I'll go along to select the actual adapter, in which case I'm of course using the Air PCAP adapter. And I know the actual channel that I want to try and break into that access point. You can remember it's channel 11. And at this point I'm going to delete my previous initialization file. I'll actually just save it with a different name, and we'll call this demo crack file. We'll just save it to the desktop. And then I'm going to delete that. So we'll delete that dump file. And I will select to use the ARP requests to do the WEP injection. And you kind of want to start off by not full throttle. We'll start off with a transmit rate of 22 megabits per second. Once we've configured those settings, we can then select the passive scan, and that's going to go out and pick up the different access points that we have in the area. We can see via the vendor list, and if we click on the first one, we can actually see the client connected to that access point. Oh gee, look, it's an Apple Mac. So now that it's actually connected, you can see I really have a very small amount of traffic. But here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to click on that client, and I'm going to choose to deauth. A deauth attack means that I'm going to send out traffic that will actually cause that client, as you can see how my initialization vectors are increasing at a hugely astronomical rate. What I'm actually doing now is injecting traffic by performing the actual deauth. The deauth means it's going to tell the client to disconnect for a few moments off of the access point or disassociate, and when it comes back and reconnects or reassociates, then of course I'm at that time capturing all of the traffic. So I'm capturing the traffic and continuously injecting, which is really forcing my WEP initialization vector file to increase at an astronomical rate. You can actually see my packets increasing. You do also have some of the more advanced features, which I'll take you through when we've actually finished this capture. So for now, I'm going to just pause this video for a few moments because you'll probably otherwise fall asleep. We'll wait till we have enough sufficient captured WEP IVs, and I'll show you how easy it is to crack it from that point on. Right, so looks like we've got more than enough captured WEP IVs. So if we actually stop that, we can now choose to analyze the capture file. And there's various different types of attack techniques that we can actually use to crack the key. And as you can see, here we have 385,000 IVs. And we can use either the WEP or the PTW technique to crack that. So if I just click on the PTW attack, click on start, and there you can see how quick it actually found that WEP key. So it actually worked out. If it was a 128-bit key, wasn't found, it then went straight into the 64-bit key, found that, and actually presented the key for us, no problem. And of course, just to show you the other method, if I choose the Corex attack, this will give us the ability to change some of these values so that we can kind of customize the attack that it's going to use. So I'm going to change that. The fudge factor is just the breadth and the width of the attack algorithm to use. And as you can see, it also took a few seconds, not too difficult whatsoever. So folks, that was the Cain and Abel tool. Like I said, there's an array of these Windows types of tools now that have been either converted from Linux systems in the past, but Cain and Abel has always been a Windows tool, and it's known as a Windows password recovery tool. I'll leave that up to you to decide. But that was an array of these attacks showing you just how easy it is to crack WEP keys.